Hello and welcome back to RimWorld, and in the last episode we designated some stuff to be built. Let's unpause and let stuff roll. Now what we should do is take a peek over here. Going to let's zoom out a bit. Let's designate you to be hunted. Let's designate you to be hunted. And as it is right there, I think we should leave it. And then hare, yes. Ibex doe, no. Rat, yes. Squirrels, no. Turkey, yes. Anything basically that has a like percentage on this here, where you have the chance this creature seeks revenge upon being harmed by an attacker at rifle range. The closer you are, the higher the chance for it to be. Now, doesn't mean they will, but the higher the percentage, the higher the chance that they will attack if you attack them. And hunting is considered as attacking. What I'm going to do is actually try to tame the two alpacas. It is two males, but still. Tortoises is not something we need to worry about when it comes to retaliation, because they are slow, really slow. That should be fine. Yes, we have made some of the coolers over here to be turned off. We actually successfully tamed an alpaca, which is good. Animals, and it's going to be considered grazing. Obedience. Now, the problem with training is that it actually consumes some of your food, which isn't that good, and we don't really want them to go and eat all our food, but it's still better than having them starve, so I'm going to keep it as is. And the thing with simple meal is any animal can eat simple meal regardless of the ingredient. For example, you can make simple meal out of meat only. A cow is a herbivore. They only eat grass or like plant stuff of some kind, and that includes vegetables and all of that. But if you make simple meals out of, say, venison or any kind of meat you have, then they will eat that simple meal that you made with the meat, despite the meal being made from meat. So technically they should not be able to eat it, but since it's a simple meal, they can. And that is a bit of a kind of game logic in this case, which doesn't really make sense if you put it into like real world perspective, but in a game not weird at all, to be honest. Let's see, do we have any granite around, like structures which we can deconstruct and use as... Yeah, this could be. And that's sandstone. Ooh. But wild boars retaliate. They attack. And the problem with wild boars is, if we take a look, revenge chance on harm 2%. 2%. And there's a big problem with pigs is that they are, or rather wild boar. Pigs and wild boar are different. And yeah, there's a big problem with these kind of animals like wild boars. If you attack one, you might get everyone as trying to hurt you. If they revenge, the whole pack will go after you. Which is a bit of a problem at this point, which we don't want. Aurora, which makes everyone a bit happier. Okay. Take a look at this. Why aren't you making any toques? We don't want to count equipped. We don't want to count tainted. Why aren't you making stuff? Okay, let's see. I think I have a good crafting. I have decent crafting. Let's take a look at numbers. I love this mod, numbers mod. It makes it so much easier to see who is actually good at doing stuff. Cannot make toque, needs materials. Okay. So you're saying that we don't have any materials. Now, is that the case? It might be. Might actually be that that's the case. Yeah, it seems like that's the case. Now, the good thing is that we have alpacas at this point, which we could use to make toques. We can't make leather toques, which is the reason why we don't have toques, because yeah, we don't make anything since all we have is leather, so anything that can't be made with leather can't be made at all. Okay, that makes sense. Now, what should we make? We are making toque, parka, and pants or trousers. We could make cowboy hat. We could make t-shirt or button-down shirt. Yeah, we could make one of these. Now, let's take insulation cold. Insulation heat. Okay. Add bill. T-shirt. Let's take a look at the difference. It's not really any like big difference. And the beauty value is not like different either. I think we can remove that and just make t-shirts. do until we have 10 of them. And no, 5 of them. Let's see, am I counting equipped? No, I'm not. Count equipped. That means we have 11 of them, okay. Yeah, because every single colonist has 1. And then plus 5, 11, yeah. So that adds up. Only allow ingredients. Only allowed ingredients. We should tick that in case we, like, say, hey, don't make out of human leather. Or, hey, don't use wolf skin, or don't use pig skin, or whatever the case. Or, for example, if you want to use only blue fur, for example, you can clear all and allow only blue fur, and then tick this to only allowed ingredients, which means it's going to make out of stuff that is only allowed, which is neat. That is absolutely fine as is. We have to tick this one and then turn off human leather. Yes, we don't want to make anything out of human leather because most people don't like wearing that kind of stuff. Weirdly enough. Or maybe not. I don't even think I have human leather. Yeah, no, I don't even have it, so it's fine. Retramea of the pit are passing by. Okay, that's fine, as long as they don't do anything. The aurora is ending. Slight sandstone, slight. Be warned, if you accept, you will have to fight off the tribespeople on her tail. Their group is composed of 3 penitents and 2 warriors. Now, this is a case where I really like the mod that gives you the information of what the person can and cannot do, like the stats. So you can actually say, okay, this is just so bad that the amount of people that is trying to chase the person seeking refuge is just not worth the trouble. But I think we are going to say offer safety. Let's take a look at you. You're incapable of violent. Let's keep you standing over there. They have decided to kidnap whoever they can and leave. They took her. Now, are you... Nope, you're not. Good. Now, what are you guys going to do? Because I think we should draft these people, get them in here and ready for whatever might happen. Because these guys have decided that they are going to try to take whatever they can get hold of, which isn't that good. Considering the situation, we don't really want them to get stuff. We want them to get as little as possible. Now, why I'm here, I don't know, because I am of absolutely no use, because I can't even fight. Seems like they have decided to run away. Yep. Okay. Better to be cautious and stand guard than just assume that they will go away, because, well, you never know. Okay, so Paulson has created a wolfskin t-shirt. Masterwork. That's a good thing. And yes, he's going to wear it himself. I do have a few things that is masterwork, but most of the stuff is like good, or I think most of my stuff is actually quite good. Like, the quality of it is pretty decent. Some of it is actually really good. Bandit Camp Quest. Such as apparently bandits have been raiding their caravans. If succeed, the enemy outpost at the site guarded by 3 enemies. And if we succeed, the relation will improve, and they will send us this reward worth 1,300 bucks. Healer mech serum. If we don't destroy the camp in 28 days, they will do it themselves. Well, knock yourself out. I'm not in a position to do that kind of stuff. Now, let's get me unrestricted again. Here we go. So I can do some art. We have a raid. They are attacking immediately. It's two people. Let's recruit everyone except me. And let's see if they actually go. It's too bad this isn't done. We don't have time to fix this, to be honest. Okay, what we should... it's too bad she died. Let's take a look at the bio. She would have been really good because Optimist is really good, permanent mood effect, so they don't break as easily. Incapable of none, age 29, and good melee and shooting, which would have been so good, and cooking and crafting, which would have been so good, but yeah. Kago. Oh my god. Yeah, that would be great if we could. Oh. Can we actually maybe get this person? We might be able to, maybe, yeah, but oh, he has artery blockage, left leg, peg leg. Oh, but he's dead. Okay. Too bad. Too bad. Yeah, two really good people, and yeah, we have been a bit unlucky when it comes to the whole thing with taking prisoners, because yeah, they have either run away, been able to run away, or just flat out died, which is too bad, but it's what it is. I really like these, like I don't know what you should call it, like defensible position houses, because they make it a bit more interesting instead of just using turrets. And turrets are expensive and very liable when it comes to getting blown up, which, as you would imagine, not that good for a defense you depend on to survive. Now, I'm going to do this for a few reasons. The reason being that a unit cannot stand on sandbags. They cannot occupy and stand still on that tile. They can walk over it, but they can't stand in that place. It's not possible to stand in it. That's why I'm doing this, so they can't stand and take cover. This one is not needed, but this one is not, but this one is. So this is just to make sure that no enemy is going to try to stay in cover over here to try and shoot our people and have a more defensible position than just standing out in the open, which we want them to do, because as you would imagine, standing behind cover is way better than standing out in the open. Shocking, I know, but it is what it is. And that's why I put them there, so they don't have this wall as cover. And it's technically making use of how the sandbags function and how the AI works. But I wouldn't go as far as calling it exploiting the AI. It's more making use of what's there. And since we are limiting ourselves with just this and not necessarily making use of the turrets, I feel like doing this is justifiable. Now, I am going to make use of turrets when we get later into the game. Especially if we want to actually make or what do you call it, the spaceship, and actually run away. Now let's take a look at you. You have a revenge chance of 0. That's good. Let's hunt you. Yeah, so this wall is done. That's good. I do want a bit more people. I want a few more people. It's not super well as it is right now. We do want more people than we have. Not way more, but a few more people. Like 2. Maybe somewhere between 2 and 4 more. I usually don't want to go like super crazy with the amount of colonists because of the food that is going to be required to sustain that that population. So I usually do try to not have too many of them, but I seem to have a few items to trade. Now, what do you have? You have a bunch of silver. I could try to liberate. I think I should try to liberate that money off of you. You don't have any money, but you carry all the money for the 2 of you. If we wake up Pina and get her to get out here. We could try to sell as much of the junk that we have as possible. Sell the poor short bow. We're keeping the good one. A poor pistol. We could sell the 2 poor machine pistols. Since it's poor quality and it's a machine pistol, the accuracy is going to be atrociously bad. It's going to be super bad. And then I think we might do a bit of stuff like selling parkas like this. That's a bit too much. Let's buy some of these to even it out, but what I could do is just let's sell that one. We could go for this. This is just this way we get rid of a bunch of stuff and we get all of their money, which I do want. Now, please try to prioritize hauling some of the important stuff. Paulson has experienced an inspiration, which means we should force him to make something. Maybe force him to make like a gun or something? Maybe try to force him to make like a long sword or of some kind. Long swords are actually really good, so if we designate it to be like steel, a steel longsword of a really good quality is so good on a melee, which We have Tatiana, who's using a plasteel knife. If we take a look, the problem with a knife is that they have a... They aren't really super good because it's so short. It's technically a lower damage value because of the potential damage you can do. The melee damage per second is 9, basically. We then take a look at this. And this is without knowing the quality. I think this is if it was a normal quality item. But if we get Paulson to do this with an inspiration, we would most likely get higher than normal quality, which means that the damage output will be greater, and we have an armor penetration which is going to be higher, which means more damage, and it's a steel one. If we had chosen plasteel, why am I getting the information for us? Well, whatever. Yeah, let's take a look at that one again. It's a normal plasteel knife. It's hard to say whether this is going to be worth it or not. It might be better to try to get like a really good bow or something else. I'm not sure. I don't think there's anything in the machining table I want to make. No. Here. Short bow. Recurve bow. Spear. Hela. What about Gladius? It's lower damage per second. And lower armor penetration. Now the armor penetration is basically how much damage you do if they are armored. Mace is less armor penetration, which makes sense. The club is less damage and less armor penetration. Now, the club is actually the best weapon if you want to capture people, because it's a blunt weapon, which means it's not going to cut off limbs, for example. Now, this episode is longer than it should be, but I want to make this decision now when it's fresh in my memory. Iquas are really good, but whether I want to actually make it, I'm not sure. The spear has a really good armor penetration because of the point, like the stab has a 50%. Yeah, no, I think I want to make a longsword. Like, I don't want to make a simple helmet, or I want to make this. I want to make one of them a one-time thing steel. And I want to designate this to be basically 10. Let's take a look at Paulson. What's your crafting? Crafting is 13, so that's fine. I think he's the only one above 10. Yes, he is. So, with that decided, we are going to have to make Paulson make the long sword, and hopefully it's going to be good. It depends on if it's smith or craft, but I think craft is put into smith. It's just, yeah, I don't know. It's so messy with what skill is actually used, and sometimes you don't really know, you just hope that it's the correct one that's going to be used. But anyway, we are going to end this here. So, thanks for watching, goodbye, and I hope I'll see you in the next one.